This is Mo FibonacciWater, wanting to talk to you about something that affects your everyday life. Let's talk about some knowledge and take the mask off of symbolism. Symbols are an ancient form of communication prior to verbal communication and take less effort than a language. Symbols can represent an image, an action, a scene, or contain multiple messages in one character. They are subliminally powerful and influential. Rectangles, triangles, pentagons. Where do we get these basic shapes? Nature and the universe provides us with these basic shapes from the molecular arrangements, such as how when salt and sugar crystallize and give us our atomic configurations. These basic shapes have inherent powers, and that energy can be used for anyone's intent or to push a specific agenda. The same symbol that a daycare teacher rewards their students with is the same symbol that some people are terrified of, a pentagram. When you look into the sky, a star is not that shape, so why do they call it a star? Ever heard the phrase, every man, every woman is a star? It's not because we all are going to be famous and on TV with millions of dollars. If you juxtapose a star directly over your body, that is a representation of you. The 5 points of a star represent spirit, water, which makes up 70% of your body content, fire, which represents your standard body temperature, air, which you need to breathe, and land, the physical self that is made from materials, commonly recited in the phrase ashes to ashes, dust to dust. A star can be given to a male or female child. It is a co-ed, unisexual symbol. Originally, a pentagram or star represents life. In fact, if a 5-petaled flowered plant bears a fruit, it is always edible. The hexagram is also a popular symbol, also known as the Star of David. But think about this shape. It's 2 triangles, one pointing up, representing the male, one pointing down, representing the female, and they're laying over each other. Basically, this symbol just describes the process of creation represented by 2 opposite polarities. So yes, there's an inherent power in this symbol that people can use for whichever intent that they want to use it for. Let's keep it real. No compromise. Let's talk about a symbol people either love or hate, the cross. Now, the origin of the cross represents terra. Terra represents earth, land, terrestrial. It has the 4 cardinal points on it: east, west, north, and south. It kind of looks like the crosshairs in a target or compass. So how do you look at this symbol? Well, if you're Christian, you may take it as the spiritual meaning of a crucifixion, that the physical senses have to be diminished to the point of non-existence, that temptations and desires of the body must be controlled, conquered, literally die and be destroyed completely so that your true self is revealed, a new person. Now, some look at it as that the symbol got into the wrong hands of a few people, such as the Romans, that this symbol may be a sign of punishment for dominating nations and the defeat and subjugation of certain groups of people on this earth. However you view the cross impacts your life. But the truth is, there are various different types of crosses in every religion. And this cross is powerful because of how much energy we give it and how much attention we pay to it and its origin. One of the most powerful and influential force can be created by somehow subliminally including sex in a symbol, the plug and socket theory. I'ma just give you a few examples. In the blockbuster hit movie, Get Out, Chris goes to his girlfriend's house and gets hypnotized by the girlfriend's mom. Now, it appears that Chris hears a stirring sound from a cup and spoon and gets locked away in a sunken place. But if this was the case, Chris would be victim to the sunken place every time he hears this noise for the rest of his life. The spoon and the cup represent sex. Notice that none of the men in the family were able to get Chris wide open, thinking illogically, except the mother and his girlfriend Rose. Now, Walgreens has the same cup and spoon or mortar and pestle in their logo, and they aren't compounding any natural herbs. So I look at the word pharmacy, which comes from the Greek word pharmakeia, which means sorcery. Now, I don't know how they're sorcerizing you. I don't think sorcerizing is a word, but it is today. Whether it's through the cells of their medications or from the energy locked in the symbology of their logo, but how they attract their energy, well, how they attract your energy to their business is determined by you. You know, this type of perception may be too deep for some to resonate with, but no compromise. The male and female genitalia that I like to refer to as the phallics and the yoni, the representation of it is so powerful that rituals, landscaping, and construction are built around the idea. It's called phallic architecture, and it can be seen across the whole entire world and throughout history. The steeples of churches represent a phallics, and the doors and windows represent the yoni. But it doesn't stop there. The internal architecture of the building simulates the womb. You have an altar, you approach down a long aisle with left and right wings like fallopian tubes, and everything sort of meets in the middle where the preaching is done. In Christianity, in those churches, you eat a representation of the flesh and blood, which is classified by some occultists as sex magic. The Washington Monument is a phallic structure, aligned and situated right next to a large body of water designed by Masons. Google this stuff for yourself. Google Earth, the aerial view of DC, and type the keyword symbolism. Ever wonder why the Department of Defense building is a pentagon, the heart of a pentagram? Symbolism is not just symbols. It's letters, images, numbers, etc., etc. When you see a picture of a half man, half animal, most likely the author is trying to tell you that the man possesses the characteristics of the animal. Just think. Back then, how would you describe the mind or the spirit to someone else? Like, how would you write that? You think of something that's not bound, like air. Okay, so now how do you draw air? Well, you pick something that's always in the air, such as a bird. Many symbols concerning mental and spiritual mastery include bird wings. As I mentioned before, our Arabic numerals are symbols as well. The 0 is feminine and the 1 is masculine. These two numbers start and complete all numbers from 0 to 10, starting with the 0 and 1 and ending with the 1 and 0. These two symbols are so powerful, together they are called the binary code, which is used to create computer programs and give birth to artificial intelligence. The message I want you to go home with is, symbols don't kill people. People with symbols kill people. And this is Mo FibonacciWater to tell you that you create your own reality and nothing is a coincidence.